This is Monday Morning Meditations number 265 on the Rising Man podcast with Jetty Azuma. What happens when you plan for everything to go perfectly? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rising Man podcast, Monday Morning Meditations edition. I got some Monday morning wisdom coming right your way. So excited to be here. Thank you for tuning in. Today's topic for our Monday morning meditation is, what happens when you plan for everything to go perfectly? So tell me if you've caught yourself in this trap before. You come up with a really thorough plan. You've thought through every single possible scenario and you've planned it steps A, B, C, D, and E. And then you show up, you're ready to execute your plan, you're excited about it, and right off the bat, there's a huge breakdown that you didn't see coming. Immediately, your plan goes right out the window. You might as well crumple up your plan and throw it in the garbage. And now all of a sudden, frustration, doubt, overwhelm, fear, lack of preparation, self-deprecation starts to come in. Why didn't I plan better? How could I not see this coming? You plan for everything to go perfectly. It's a trap that I've fallen into many times. I got really good at designing plans and strategies. I'm still really good at it. But formerly, I used to plan for everything to go according to plan. Now, for those of us who have lived some number of years on this planet, we know that things rarely go according to plan. You just can't consider and anticipate every single variable that's going to happen. And I believe that the best leaders, the most reliable humans on this planet are the ones who can adapt, the ones who can shift and change and flow with whatever presents itself. There's a combination of being a really strategic, well thought out, thorough person who can also adapt on the fly and improvise if that's what's required. I aim and endeavor to be somebody who is prepared as best as I can be. I didn't leave any stone unturned. Showing up for game day, I've done my research, I've done my homework, I'm ready to go. And then the game happens. The whistle blows and all of a sudden, chaos ensues. Parts of my plan are still working, but other parts go out the window. The other team brought a strategy that I wasn't anticipating. One of our star players got injured and he was a huge part of our game plan, so we have to adapt. But if I plan for things to go perfectly, if I plan out every single word that I'm going to say in my speech, or I sequence every single play that I want to run against the opposing team, then as soon as there's some interference that disrupts the harmony of that plan, I'm stranded underwater without oxygen. And all I'm going to feel is that urgency of drowning. I'm going to feel like I don't know what to do next. This is why they used to tell us back in grade school, don't memorize your speech, right? Have some talking points. They made us go from memorizing a speech to putting a few bullet points on an index card because they know that I have to be able to improvise, to go with what's available in the moment, to be present with what's happening around me, because if I just talk like a robot reading off of a teleprompter, it doesn't make for very interesting or compelling speech. Planning for things to go perfectly is a surefire way to set ourselves up to fail in life. So it's got to be this 1-2 punch. I have to be able to design a strategy that I believe is going to be really effective, that has considered a lot of the variables that I can see in advance. I also need to prepare my body to be ready and grounded if I need to improvise. If things fall apart, if I'm driving on my way to work and I get rear-ended, can I ground myself and shift gears to the circumstances of reality instead of being so attached to just making my way to work uninterrupted without interference the way I usually do every single day? Because if I'm not prepared for the plan to go wrong, if I've only planned for things to go perfectly, then my body and my emotions are going to break down. They're going to go into full breakdown mode when that inevitable, unexpected, unpredictable outcome happens. Don't plan for things to go perfectly. If you look at your plan, if you look at your strategy that you have, and you see that there's really only one sequence of how things can go in order for this to work, check your plan again. Check your plan again. It's good to have direction. It's good to have a direction that we're headed in, but to have the flexibility to change course, to adapt, to improvise, to move with what presents itself in actual reality. Don't plan for perfection, because perfection never happens. The best laid plans of mice and men, right? We've heard all these different sayings and cliches that all suggest that we must be ready. We must prepare ourselves for the parts of life that we cannot see coming, that we cannot plan or strategize for. But I can put in those reps Put in those practice moments. Put in those opportunities of simulating chaos, improvisation, adapting to the unpredictable ahead of time so that my body is ready for those moments. I may not have a specific plan or strategy, but if chaos can happen and I can catch my breath and I can feel my belly and I can feel my feet on the ground, I can look around, I can survey possibility, and I can make a decision from a grounded place. If I'm panicking, if my body's getting uncomfortable and I need to make a decision really quickly, I'm going to react. I'm going to give in to my reflexive response instead of choosing wisely. So this combination of planning for perfection, hoping that everything is going to go well according to the plans that I have, according to my agenda, recipe for failure. Instead, prepare the body for anything that could possibly happen. Have a really thorough, well thought out plan, but also be ready to improvise and change if that's what's called for in the moment. I know you needed to hear this because I needed to hear this 100,000 times over and over again before I finally wrapped my mind around getting my body right so that anything could happen and I'm prepared to adapt and change as necessary. Send this message to somebody else who needs to hear it because I know that there's somebody in your life right now who plans for perfection. Send them this reminder. You might be the one to help crack them out of that coherence. And thank you as always for tuning in each and every week to the Rising Man podcast, to these Monday morning meditations. Seriously, so much gratitude, so much love to all of you out there supporting Rising Man, putting your fist in the air to support what we're up to here in the Rising Man community. Keep doing what you do. And until next week's episode, rise up and claim your destiny.